Memphis is one of those interesting programs because they do have that money from somewhere. I don't know where it comes from. They also have the worst. They also have the absolute worst helmets in the bowl series.
Greetings and salutations and welcome to the Odd Coaches Podcast, college football conference preview shows in advance of the 2025 college football season. On today's show, we focus on the American Athletic Conference and Conference USA. Fans, our college football previews are for the casual fan who likes both college footballs and sometimes things strictly for entertainment purposes only. The OCP is entering its fourth year of covering college football, so let's get started. Segment 1, the American Athletic Conference. Segment 2, Conference USA. And segment 3, games to watch and some season predictions on teams you probably need to follow. Special shout out to our friends at Athlon Sports for their outstanding work, because if you think I've got the minions to do all of this research, you're crazy. Hanging out with me today, our Texas correspondent when it comes to college football, Robert Abney. Robert, ready to talk American?
We're taping on June 30th and we're talking college football. What are we doing here?
I love it.
Let's go.
I love it. So in the American, Tulane is preseason the best team to look at. They've got first-year coach Jon Sumrall. He's replacing Willie Fritz. They only returned 5 starters, but, man, they've just been good the last few years, so I think they're still going to be good. Navy, and Robert, feel free to jump in at any time with any of these teams. Navy is right around the corner from us in Annapolis. The Midshipmen had an outstanding season. Navy and Army really did well. Air Force, not so much. They capped their year by beating Oklahoma in the Armed Forces Bowl. That could not have been a very good thing for Oklahoma. They have a favorable schedule and a lot of national support, so I think Navy is going to please some people this year. South Florida is 3. South Florida is like my Penn State in the American Athletic Conference because they have every conceivable advantage you would want, and they still have not put it together. And every year, Robert, I'm like, man, this is the year for South Florida. And every year I am disappointed. High expectations, then their quarterback got hurt. Come on, South Florida. You should be one of the best teams in the American this year. So, Robert, by contract, I'm going to pause you on number 4 because it's University of Texas, San Antonio. I love this squad. They always tease, and they always win the games they're not supposed to win and lose the games they are supposed to win. Any thoughts on UTSA this year from people in Texas?
Well, I mean, the fact that they kept Coach Traylor helps them a lot because he's somebody that I would have expected to kind of move along. They've had a lot of success over the past few years. They're starting to be eclipsed a little bit by Texas State, who was in the Sun Belt, now moving on to the Pac-12. It's going to be very interesting to see. Those two teams have played a rivalry game for quite a while now. And with them going different ways, it'll be interesting to see if that continues. But
the UTSA coach that we're talking about, was that like the high school legend there? Like he had like a great high school career, and then he got the UTSA job.
That's Texas Tech. That's Joey McGuire.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Number 5, Army. Again, great season last year. Black Knights won 12 games, got into the conference title game. It's not going to be easy, but again, Army's going to play a certain way, and good luck stopping that. 6 is Memphis. Memphis should be good. FedEx puts money into Memphis, okay? So Memphis is coming off his best 2-year stretch, but you always got to rebuild at Memphis. Well, Robert, Memphis got like that pocket money that you don't even know Memphis has. So Memphis is going to win a game or two that they may not expect to win.
That Memphis is one of those interesting programs because they do have that money from somewhere. I don't know where it comes from. They also have the worst. They also have the absolute worst helmets in the bowl series. The
They're
metallic
like the little tiger or whatever.
metallic blue Cincinnati Bengals stuff. No, that is absolute the worst. They're awful.
All right. Okay. Number 7, East Carolina. They're now a home team for me. My in-laws moved to East Carolina country, so I'll be down there a lot. Uh, they're trying. They were trying to be an ACC school similar to SMU. They have funneled in a lot of money. They made their little coaching change at the midseason point. I don't think I probably would have made that move. But hey, good luck to the Pirates. They're going to try. Okay. 8 is North Texas, the Mean Green. They have posted back-to-back losing seasons. Should we expect a third losing season from North Texas, Robert?
Given how the American is shaping up, I'd say yes. They are defensively challenged and have been for the past few years. They give up a lot of points, and you got to score a lot of points if you're going to give up a lot. And that they haven't quite sorted out on that side of the ball, I don't think. But defensively, they really struggle.
All right. Number 9, Florida Atlantic, another team that should be better than what it is. I will be watching them extra. They have a new coach, Zach Kitley. He's done a lot of good offensive work at other levels, but let's see if they can do better than 3-9. Number 10 is Temple. I have no idea why Temple is so bad. Hey, Temple is like historically bad every year. They have a new coach again, Casey Keeler. He's recorded 271 wins at Rowan, at Delaware, at Sam Houston. But he's 65. This is his last shot at the big time. And I'm going to wish him well. But Temple, man, they make you mad.
You would think
Go ahead.
you would think they would be better. I mean, there is good football in Western PA and in Ohio. You would think you could get some players that you'd be better.
Just better. We didn't say win a natty, but
No.
you should be in somebody's bowl. I mean,
Yeah, you should be better.
And speaking of should be better, Charlotte should be better. They've only had one winning season since moving to FBS in 2015. They're in a favorable city. They got a little bit of Jerry Richardson money. They have halfway decent facilities, but they just hadn't done it, and they just haven't done it. So we're going to wish you well. Team we're not rooting for. Sorry, I got a little Mike King petty. University of Alabama Birmingham has everything to do with their coach Trent Dilfer. When he came into the gig, we said on the air, man, I don't think you should probably come into the job this way. And he didn't take our advice and continues to double down on foolishness, even talking about poaching his players. Well, with a 7-17 record since taking over, that must be a lot of players they're poaching. So I'm not anticipating a good year, and this might be the last year for Trent Dilfer at UAB. And again, we didn't say don't be yourself. We didn't say don't have a personality, but hey, calm down with some of this foolishness because that's no.
Yeah, don't run your mouth like that when you're that bad.
Yeah. I knew you're bad. You knew you were bad.
You're just giving people an excuse to run it up on you is what you're doing.
Yeah. So speaking of running it up, 13 is Rice. Okay. Rice is hard. And we already know that it's challenging. And now they have a new coach in Scott Bell. Robert, we've joked over the years that Texas, I think it's actually true, has like their own state top 25, and Rice is probably near or at the bottom. Do they have a shot? Because I think Rice was one of the teams last year I just followed for all the wrong reasons in terms of their win total.
Rice won Southwestern Conference titles in the 1950s. They were a powerhouse nationally, winning Cotton Bowl games and such. It's not the 1950s.
No.
I mean, they have been bad for a while. They've had some success on the national stage in college baseball. They won a national championship in the early 2000s, but since then I mean, there just isn't a lot going on there, which is kind of surprising because it's in Houston, so there are players around, and
Don't you have to have a certain GPA to get in, though? They don't turn
there are
their
some
head like other places.
there are some alums. There should be some money. Other folks have figured this equation out. It's been kind of surprising that Rice has not.
All right. And then finally, 14, Tulsa. New coach Trey Lamb at 35 is one of the youngest coaches in the FBS. And it's going to be hard at Tulsa. So we're going to wish that young scholar all the best. And when we get back in segment 2, Conference USA. Can't wait to talk about it. We'll be right back on the Odd Coaches Podcast.
Hi, everyone. I'm Dr. Keith Adams, and for years, I've witnessed the struggles student athletes face on how to truly balance the demands of academics and athletics. It's a question that I have dedicated my life to answering. That's why I wrote Finding the Balance, my personal journey to academic and athletic success. It's more than just a book. It is my personal journey, and it is filled with hard-earned lessons from decades as a coach, educator, and now president of the CKA SAFE Project. Inside, you will find practical advice, real-life stories, and a clear roadmap to help student athletes, coaches, and parents navigate the complex world of balancing sports and education. And now I am thrilled to bring this message to a wider audience as a proud member of the Cascade Sports Network. We're partnering to amplify these crucial conversations about student-athlete success. I believe every student-athlete deserves the opportunity to reach their full potential, both on and off the court and the field. You can purchase your copy directly from our website at www.cascasafeproject.org. Join me and the Cascade Sports Network as we work together to help every student athlete succeed.
Welcome back to the Odd Coaches Podcast. In segment 2, we're going to talk Conference USA. Number 1, Liberty, coming off a 13-1 record and a trip to a New Year's Six Bowl. They're the heavy favorite to win last year, and then they underachieved. Okay, so they were good, and then they were not so good, and hopefully they can, get good again. But we'll see with that. 2, Western Kentucky. A lot of turnover every year at Western Kentucky, but they've won at least 8 games every year, so it's okay to follow them. It's okay to follow. Jacksonville State, Rich Rod left. First train smoking, he did well, okay, and got right back out of there. So they only returned 6 starters, and they ranked towards the bottom of the FBS in terms of returning production, but it's Conference USA. We'll see what happens with them. 4, Louisiana Tech. They're coming off their best season under Sonny Cumbie, which was 5-8. They earned a trip to the Independence Bowl after Marshall opted out. We'll leave Marshall alone because that didn't end well. Mm-hmm. They were only 11-26 under this guy, though. So yeah, I'm not gonna. It's not gonna be a lot of fun for Conference USA. Robert, at 5 is UTEP, University of Texas El Paso. Any thoughts on UTEP coming into the season?
Well, you referenced the list of top 25 teams in Texas and how Rice is usually near the bottom. They're usually ahead of UTEP. So we'll see. They've had hiccups here and there where they've been good for a year, maybe 2. Their success is really going to depend on how good the conference is. I mean, I don't I don't anticipate them. I don't anticipate them making a jump, but it could happen.
Well, speaking of making a jump, number 6 put a star, put a circle, put a
The Blue Hens,
hashtag.
baby.
The Blue Hens of Delaware, under their 4th-year coach and former Delaware quarterback Ryan Carty. They are now in FBS. They're in a conference. They have resources. We were just there. Point 5, our favorite intern, was at their prospect camp. Again, the Mathis football schedule will be out in August. We'll get that to you. But I like Delaware. I've always liked Delaware. Following when he was a high school player, that was the place he actually wanted to go. They are the only show in town. There is no professional football team in the state of Delaware. So we'll be rooting like heck for the Blue Hens, and I might even, probably not, but take a trip up to their stadium. And really enjoyed my time up there. Good luck to the Blue Hens. And Joe Flacco's an alum, and several other people who had some marginal success. Somebody else, I can't remember. But, all right, number 7, Middle Tennessee. Derek Mason's first year was a struggle. They were 3-9. I don't see any progress coming in year 2, but we wish you well, sir. We wish you well. Robert Sam Houston. They have a familiar face back. Longtime offense coordinator Phil Longo finally gets his chance to run a program. Will they do anything at Sam Houston this year, sir?
You know, they had a good run in FCS. They won a national championship. They decided to make that transition. Might not have been the best decision. But most of I believe all of the FCS schools in Texas have now transitioned into FBS. And, you know, at some point, I really would expect, I'm kind of surprised this hasn't happened yet. And maybe it'll all shake out once some of the, NIL, house settlement, all this stuff settles out. We may yet see a second coming of like the Southwest Conference with all of these Texas.
That would be cool. That would be cool.
You'll have, you might have Tarleton, Abilene Christian, Sam Houston, Stephen F. Austin, Houston Christian, East Texas A&M. All of those schools may kind of band together and create a new. That would be fun.
That would be fun, and they would cut some travel costs as well.
I would be on board with that. Let me tell you.
Texas Football Alliance or something like that. That'd be good stuff. All right, number 9, FIU. After a third consecutive 4-8 season, they hit the reset button. They fire Mike McIntyre, and now they have a new coach. And good luck, man, because Willie Simmons is a head coach. He's a good dude, but that's going to be hard to win there.
Another school that should be good. Florida has players.
They do.
They're next to Georgia, which has players, and Alabama, which also has players. They should be able to find enough guys to play football and be halfway decent.
They have to just slow their roll down and really navigate this new way of doing things, because it's doable. People are winning, but they're not winning by turning their coaches over every couple of years. That's actually the wrong way to go, but I digress. All right, Robert, we're going back home to you. New Mexico State is number 10 after going 17-11 under Jerry Kill. New Mexico State was due for a little hiccup, and you've politely said it's one of the most challenging positions in the country, I should say. Any thoughts on New Mexico State, and should we expect more than 3 wins?
I would say that the 3-9 mark last season, that's what you call reversion to the mean. That's what New Mexico State has been. I've maintained for a long time that New Mexico State overall would be better if they went to an FBS conference, and that they're better suited for that. It's hard to recruit to Las Cruces. I love Las Cruces. My brother lives there. I've spent a lot of time there. But it's tough to recruit there. and the facilities are fine. They're not great, but they're fine. And it's a tough place to recruit to. And New Mexico is not a recruiting base. You don't get Division I football players from New Mexico. So you got to go find them. And it's a challenge. So I would not, New Mexico State, the hiccups they get, they need to enjoy, because 3-9, that's about right.
It's funny because it's true. That's why. It's just so true. All right, number 11, Missouri State. They enter their first season of FBS play with a little bit of momentum. They're making a jump after an 8-4 campaign under second-year coach Ryan Beard. That transition is not going to be easy, but I'm going to pay attention to Missouri State. And I'm also going to pay attention to Kennesaw State, very good friend of the show. Ayanna graduated from there. Teaching in the Atlanta suburbs. They made their FBS debut last year, and they're starting over. The first coach in program history was dismissed unceremoniously. They did that dude wrong, guys. I'm going to tell you that now. That guy suffered through a lot, and then they're like, nah, we're good. But they hired Jerry Mack, and we're going to wish them well. But, yeah, Robert, they did that guy wrong.
They did him dirty, yeah.
Come on, man. We better than that, man. But with that, in segment 3, we're going to talk about some games you might want to watch, some teams that may flirt with the Group of 5 pick, except American might have one. We'll talk about that. We'll be right back on the iCoach Podcast.
Hi, everyone. Dr. Keith Adams here. And for over 30 years, I've dedicated my life to helping student athletes succeed, not just on the fields and the courts, but in the classroom and beyond. And that's why I founded the CKA Save Project. The CKA Save Project understands that finding the balance between academics and athletics is crucial for long-term success. That's why the CKA Save Project offers a range of programs, including personalized consulting, mentorship, and coming in 2027, our innovative Gap Year Basketball Academy, designed to assist both young men and women reach their full potential, both on and off the court. I'm incredibly excited to announce that the CKA Save Project is now partnering with the Cascade Sports Network. This partnership will allow us the opportunity to amplify our message and reach even more student athletes through the Odd Coaches podcast and other exciting initiatives. Join the CKA Save Project and the Cascade Sports Network as we empower the next generation of student athletes. Visit CKA on the web at www.ckasaveproject.org to learn more. Let's work together to find the balance and help unlock your potential.
Welcome back to the iCoaches Podcast in segment 3. We're going to talk about some games to watch, non-conference in the American. August 30th, week 0, Tulane is traveling to Northwestern for a home game. I kind of want to see that, because if Tulane's going to make an impact early, they're going to have to get that Big Ten win. As you see, Tulane will be the team we follow. September 12th, Tulane plays at Duke. Again, another opportunity. If you want to be that Group of 5 team, we need you to beat a Big Ten team and an ACC team, because on September 20th, you're also traveling to Ole Miss, and I don't think that's going to be a win. And also on September 20th, Memphis is playing Arkansas. Is there a game or two from the American that catches your eye with this, Robert?
No, I mean, I think getting into once you get into conference games, I mean, obviously, the Army-Navy game is a big game. Everybody watches that. But I think that, Tulane and Memphis is always going to be that game will tell us a lot. Navy does play Memphis right before they play.
Yes, Navy plays Memphis on November 27th.
I think it's the week they play before they play Army, and that could, that could have an impact on that game. We don't know, but I think those are the games that I would look for.
Yeah, Conference USA, you got one shot to like make a name for yourself. It looks like Western Kentucky is playing at LSU, but I'm not overly high on Conference USA this year. Some CFP candidates from the American, we're looking at Tulane, Memphis, Army, and Navy. That's kind of what I'm looking at. And they'll probably gorge themselves and beat themselves up and knock themselves out of the top 25.
Mhm.
And in Conference USA, Liberty tends not to play anybody. So they'll have a gaudy regular season record, and Western Kentucky, good luck to you. Am I right on these, Robert, or is there somebody else you're thinking about possibly having some
No,
kind of influence?
I agree in general with that. I mean, I don't think. Do I think Liberty's going to be very good? No. Do I think they'll be the best team in Conference USA? Yes.
Yes, two things can be very true. Things
Yep.
can be very true. All right, this was fun, and we'll be doing this all summer. So fans of the show, enjoy, get your little notebooks out. That should hopefully help you a little bit. So on behalf of our favorite administrator, Robert Abney, I'm Dr. Keith Adams saying thank you for listening and or watching the Odd Coaches podcast, also seen on the Cascade Sports Network. And we'll see you on the sidelines. Until next time, take care.
The Odd Coaches podcast is sponsored by the CKA Save Project. The CKA Save Project is an industry leader in providing student-athlete academic and athletic support. From assessing student-athletes' academic and athletic skills, to measuring and monitoring student-athlete academic progress, to improving student-athlete time management and organizational skills, the CKA Save Project provides wraparound services for student-athletes from middle school through college. For more information, visit us on the web at www.ckasaveproject.org or schedule a free consultation with Dr. Keith Adams by emailing cka@ckasaveproject.org. We hope you enjoyed today's show. The Odd Coaches podcast drops new episodes every Tuesday through Friday on most weeks. Make sure you subscribe to the Odd Coaches podcast on Apple Music, iHeartRadio, Podbean, Spotify, and YouTube. Follow the Odd Coaches podcast on Twitter and Instagram at Odd Coaches. Follow Dr. Adams on Twitter and Instagram at CKA Save Project. In addition, follow Coach Mike Francis on Twitter and Instagram at Coach Franchise, spelled Coach FRANCHIZE. For more information about the CKA Save Project, please visit them on the web at www.ckasaveproject.org. See you next time on the Odd Coaches podcast.